What's up, guys? Again, VeryCoolAlan here. Today I'm gonna be talking about the Google Pixel and why it's a big disappointment and why this is a little bit of a rant, hopefully 3-4 minute video. Just gonna be talking about why I don't like the Pixel and why there are some flaws to the pricing and the design and some of the choices that Google has made this year for this phone. I'm very confused and I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. People seem to be okay with it, which, I mean, it's okay. Let's start off with the design, okay? The Google, or no, you know what? Let's start off with the Nexus line. Nexus line is officially dead. Google has stated publicly that there will be no more Nexus devices in the future. Very disappointing. As you know, the Nexus program started like 6-7 years ago with the Nexus 1, and basically it was to showcase what Google wanted from, what Google wanted Android to look like. And they partnered up with like an OEM like HTC, Samsung, Huawei, LG to make these phones. So they partnered up together. Google will provide the software and the OEM will provide the hardware. They would help Google design it, and it would be crazy, it'd be awesome. People like Android fanboys love this idea, and in the beginning the phones were priced really well. The Nexus 5, which is one of the most popular ones, was priced at $400. $400 years ago, when we're barely getting to that trend of great phones at really cheap prices. But back then it was a big deal because it was dirt cheap. It was $400 for, you got the best specs on a phone that year, and you still got an unbeatable price, and you got the pure Google experience with at least 2 years of timely software updates, which you still don't get on any other phone other than Nexus, well, now Pixel phones. So they killed it off, and now they moved. I guess they just rebranded it because there's nothing really new that's offering. They just rebranded more to Pixel. So we got 2 new phones today, the Pixel and the Pixel XL. They both have the same specs, which is a Snapdragon 821, 4 gigs of RAM, 32 and 128 gigabyte variants, 12.3 megapixel cameras. Nothing fancy. Every other phone has had it this year, Every other phone has had the similar specs. There's nothing that's crazy, no 6 gigabytes, no 20 megapixel camera, nothing that is making it stand apart. There's no new features. There was some rumors that these phones would get some Google features that no other phone will have. But no, that didn't happen to be the case. Everything is the same. It's like I'm using my Nexus 6P with Android 7.1. So now the issue is the pricing. The pricing is, oh, and let me get to this other one. They took off the front-facing speakers for a bottom-facing speaker, and it has a huge bezel on the bottom, I guess to keep it proportionate, or the symmetry the same as the top and the bottom bezel, but there's nothing on the bottom. It looks like an HTC. It was looks like an HTC phone because the bottom bezel is huge and there's nothing occupying that bezel. So let's talk about how Google made this, how Google announced it. Today was their Made by Google event. So they said that this was made by Google themselves in an app, right? They didn't mention that HTC is a hardware partner, and everybody knows that HTC is the hardware partner. Look it up. It came up in the FCC documents when it was made, and everybody just knows that it's made by HTC. HTC is the hardware partner. But the new contract this year is that HTC will not have their branding on this phone. Their only job is to make the phones. That's why it looks similar to a HTC One M7, M8, A9, and the A9, like if they had a baby, So this HTC is their hardware company, but they're not going to say that this is made by Google inside and out, like as if Google had their own, factory making them, but they don't. It's HTC from Taiwan making them. Just so you should know, because they're not going to say it. So that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the price, and that's the biggest problem I have with it, and a lot of people should have with it, because these phones are priced to compete with Apple and Samsung, and I don't think that they should be priced at $649, starting 32 gigabytes for the 5-inch model. This is not a Galaxy that has awesome features, a badass camera, a better screen, glass and metal unibody, any of that stuff. It's basically a silver aluminum phone with glass on the front, a little bit of glass on the back, and pure Nexus, pure Google, Android. And that's it. There's nothing special about it. I don't know why the highest model, which is the 128 gigabyte 5.5 inch Pixel XL, is $869 minus taxes. It's gonna be a $900 phone, and if you want accessories, $1,000. This phone is ridiculously priced. Nobody should be pricing that phone that high. There's nothing special about that phone. The Nexus 6P was started at $599 for the 32 gig. That was okay. Highest price was $749, I believe. And the Nexus 6 was when Google took a 180 and started pricing it super expensive. It was $599, and everybody was like, pooped their pants because they were like, why is this phone so expensive? It's not supposed to be expensive. It's Nexus. So Nexus 5 was awesomely priced. 6 terribly priced. 6P, okay priced. Pixel, terribly priced. This is the worst price for a phone. The OnePlus 3 has similar specs. It's $400. The ZTE Axon has $400. Probably better specs than this. Galaxy S7, you can buy one for like $500 new, $600 brand new. Galaxy Note 7, that just came out, about $800, $900. iPhone 7, they're just overpriced in general. So you already know that it comes with the territory. It doesn't really matter at this point. But the Pixel, I don't know why they price it so expensive. What is their deal? There's nothing that's making this phone special. There's no S Pen. There's no front-facing speakers. There's no built-in DAC. There's no. The camera is supposed to be the best, but I doubt it. This is not phone trashing. Well, it is trashing it, but it's for a good cause, because I'm not saying not to buy it, because I might buy it because I have to. I need to move on, phone to phone. I can't just be stuck on 6P for 5 years. But this phone is not that great. There's nothing going for it. I don't know why it's priced so high, and I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if they're trying to sell more. I hope they don't sell that many, in a way, just so they can say, wow, we really screwed up, but I doubt it. They always do stuff like this. Thanks for watching, and let me just shake this off.